And we are back with another episode of What's in Your Cup. Well, let's begin this episode with a little topic about inconsistency with our hosts, because Mark and Alyssa are not here today. We have a special somebody because I needed somebody. I thought about doing it by myself, but I'm like, nah, I need somebody I can work off of, make some jokes, try to learn something. So we have a very special guest. Surprised he's willing to do it. He's my dad.
Yeah, here's some cheers. Come on, so a little bit of laughter. I'm here to help out as much as I can.
Yeah, I got my dad helping me.
And that's what we're here for.
So that's great. What's up? How you doing, Dad?
Good. No, we had a wonderful dinner. And so now we have back to work. So whatever I have to do to pitch in, I'm here for you.
I appreciate that.
But what I like to do is at least have a chat. I made a special drink for us.
Yes, you did.
I'm not
Thank
going
you.
to tell you what it is, but I want you to taste it. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ching, we're going to have a sip, and then we're going to talk about exactly what I put, or if you can guess what I put inside.
Okay, you don't have to be so robotic for the. You don't have to explain it. There's a couple episodes in already.
I just like to do my thing. Why do I have to?
You sound like a robot.
It's so I'm a robot.
It's not
Winding down from a long
That's
day.
not very entertaining.
No, it's gonna start.
Yeah.
So, like I said, cheers.
Cool.
Please hold up your glass.
It looks exactly like what I think it is. It's probably going to taste exactly what I think it is.
Well,
'Cause we have these all the time.
let's be the judge.
All right. We're going in for the first taste. Quick description. It just looks like cranberry juice.
It looks like cranberry juice. Does not taste like cranberry juice. And right now, I feel the hair growing on my nose.
Great.
Couple more of these, the hair be growing on my ass again. Can you figure it out what it is?
Yeah, I have a pretty good guess.
What do you think it is? Nah, not the smell test.
Yeah, I can smell it if I want to.
But what do you think it is?
Be able to it's a vodka cranberry.
No, it's not. There's an extra dose of something else.
There's something else in here.
What do you think it is? You're not going to be able to smell it because you're going to smell the cranberry.
Is there gin in this?
Not gin.
Not gin.
Well, let me
It's a little bitter.
let me backtrack. It's a gin, but a certain flavor.
Oh,
of
it's a gin.
It's a certain flavor.
So it is gin.
Well, I try to hide the fact that maybe.
Yeah, it's lemon gin.
There you go.
Yeah, it's lemon gin and a vodka cranberry. I knew it. We have these all the time. You're supposed to be making me a mystery drink.
That's all the mystery I have right now.
Wow. Okay.
Why?
Great.
Because I drank everything else. There's nothing left.
Okay, that's great.
Well, I'm here to please.
Great. Anyway, so we're drinking. So not very much into the mystery, but we're drinking vodka cranberries with a little bit of gin.
And I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Is there a name for it or no?
You can name it anything you like. You know what? Perfect name. What's in your cup tonight?
Oh, that was terrible.
Oh, come on.
That was.
It's
terrible.
my beginning.
That was
Picture me-
awful.
Come on. Picture.
That was all. I know you had a long day.
It's okay.
I know you had a long day today, but come on.
Yeah, but my day starts. When I'm with you guys, my day starts again. So let's jump into it.
So cookie cutter.
No, what cookie cutter?
Yeah, I see what you're trying to do.
I got too many slices on my fingers. Enough of
Trying
the
to
cookie
be
cutter.
trying to be a cookie cutter guest. Got nothing bad to say.
I can't find anything bad to say. It was a good day today.
Ah. This is gonna be a horrible episode because
Oh, will you stop? Stop with the...
this is gonna be horrible because like
It's not gonna be horrible.
I have a very dark sense of humor, and I like to joke around and have fun.
So do I.
Yeah, it's not how you're coming off right
But
now.
I have a very nonchalant attitude to tonight.
Yeah,
Why not?
that's fine.
Actually, I want to talk to you about something.
Okay.
And what I'd like to talk to you about is the... today, when I left this morning, I'm driving around. Like I said, I left a little later this morning. So I ran into a lot of traffic due to the school buses, which is okay. That's why I enjoy leaving 5:36 in the morning so I can avoid all this. But today was one of those odd days where I think all the crazies were out. I mean, literally crazies. People walking around, people with their hands down in their back pockets, people walking back and forth. I'm not just talking about one person. I'm talking multiple people. And not only in one spot. I don't know whether to laugh or cry today about it.
Okay.
Seeing this craziness. But another day in life, as I say.
Yeah.
Then I tell you something else. I went to Dunkin' Donuts this morning.
Oh, great.
Well, you know, the
Not
one next-
sponsored. We're not sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts.
What? No, we're not sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts.
It's
but
amazing, but we're not sponsored by it.
I tell you why I'm bringing Dunkin' Donuts up. I went to Home Depot this morning. The Dunkin' Donuts right next door went through a major renovation. So do you remember the one that went to Yonkers?
Yeah.
You see how it looked in the center where the handles for usually the beer handles.
Oh,
when
they
you go
put
to pub-
those. Yeah, they put those
they put-
labeled handles. And,
It was told. You will not recognize it right now, but they did a fantastic job.
Is that why they've been closing up early?
No, they were shut down for about a month or so.
I thought they were closing down early because there was nobody in there past like 7 p.m.
No, as a matter of fact, that Dunkin' Donuts is open 24 hours a day, but the drive-through is. But I think it shuts down about 9 o'clock or so, and then the drive-through opens up.
Okay.
But other than that, everything worked out real good today. So I got to say it was a nice day.
Great.
Weather was good.
Anything bad?
Well, I tell you,
Yeah,
Let
on
me
this
get this
on this fine sunny day where nothing bad happens in life.
well, let me tell you, I'll bring you another story today. You know, we have
Okay.
a particular tenant in the back of the property. You know, they goofed up a little bit. So actually, one of the dogs got out, and you see these crazy people running after this dog. But the problem is they're all in their bathrobes, chasing after the dog. Okay? So, which was funny in the beginning, well, all of a sudden, as they're running after a dog, they're losing everything. Slippers. Who's losing their hair combs. The dog is having a freestyle running up and down the block, and they're trying to get this poor thing. So that was like highlight of the morning when I got to the job site. But it was okay.
Okay.
So we said.
Cool. Yeah, so my day was great. I went to work. I got filthy.
Impossible.
Yeah, I did. I got my jeans all fucked up.
Oh, what, ripped?
No. Just covered in concrete.
Concrete?
Concrete.
Or, dirt or dust?
Sacrete concrete, actually. Like, you know, like those concrete high extra strength mixes?
You talking about the bags?
Yeah.
How many bags did you mix?
I had to get, I only mixed 6, but I had to buy 11 of them from Home Depot.
You had to go out to buy it?
Not with my money, with my boss's
I
money.
get it, but you had to go buy it. You had to load it and then
Yeah.
unload it.
Yeah.
Did you do any mixing?
Yeah. It's
And
dirty.
mixing.
Yeah, it gets dirty.
Well, trust me, I know it gets dirty.
Yeah. Dirty.
Too dirty.
Very dirty.
You know what's even worse about that? When it gets on your clothes, it does not come off.
I know, but the dust.
It's horrible. No, it's not the dust. When you mix it, when the water mixes into the cement
Yeah.
in the granules and gets on your clothes, it does not come off. You literally have to throw everything out.
Yeah.
And that's the highlight of your day?
Pretty much, yeah. There's not that much.
Well, I think the highlight of the day should begin driving to work. Did you have any problems
The
this morning?
highlight, driving to work, no.
Oh, because see, you leave early in
That's
the
not
morning.
my. Well, yeah, I leave at like 5:30 in the morning
That's why.
to
There's
beat the
nobody out.
traffic on the New Jersey Turnpike. Yeah, it's not a good experience.
It's not a good experience.
Yeah, it's a horrible experience.
But it's fantastic to get up early that way nobody's in your way.
Yeah, there's that, but then there's also getting up at 5:30 in the morning.
Gotta get used to it, kid. I was getting up at 4:30.
I am used to it. I've been doing it for a couple of years.
Okay.
Doesn't mean I like doing
Builds
it.
a lot of character.
Yeah.
Responsibility.
Cool. Anyway,
It puts hair on your face.
puts hair on my face. No, I have hair on my face. It just looks like shit. It's all prickly. Doesn't connect right. Makes me look way older. Like whenever I grow out the beard, as awful as it looks, it makes me look like 5 years older than what I actually am.
Well, that's why we invest in shaves.
Vest in shaves.
Got to invest in shaves. Got to ride the razor, get yourself a shave, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Going back to the old babyish look is always good. To begin with, anyway.
Yeah, it's always good.
You know what else I would like to talk about
What?
These unfortunate gas prices that I'm dealing with. It really puts a damper on things.
Yeah, it's at like what, $3.90?
$3.90. Try $4.25 a gallon.
Where'd you get 24? Where'd you get $4.25?
Well, obviously, I'm up in Westchester. Certain spots that you go to.
Well, that's rich peopleville.
Well, unfortunately, we're not rich, but wherever I am, I have to gas up. So while gassing up,
So do you fill it up all the way, or do you just be like, give me $25 worth of
these
gas?
days I only put in half a tank, and half a tank is usually about $50.
Half a tank is $50.
That's correct. At $4.25 a gallon, absolutely.
Really? That's not good.
It's not good.
I didn't realize your car uses that much gas.
Well, it's really not a car; it's the truck.
Well, still, but like, just to get to half tank,
Just a half a tank.
because mom's car is bigger than yours. So I was like,
Volume-wise is bigger. But my thing is that because mine carries a heavy load,
this is a pickup, yeah,
and it goes, doesn't get that much.
yeah.
So you have to constantly justify.
I have to keep putting in gas like halfway through the week because I'm driving 60 miles a day.
You got a 4-cylinder. You can only put so much.
Well, yeah. Still, then I gotta put in. I put in like 25 at a time only.
All right, that works.
I never put in more than that, and that's
But
like
that
a
should
little
give
over
you-
half a tank.
Right, I was gonna say that definitely gives you almost 3/4 of a tank at that much.
Yeah,
but this is what it is.
yeah. I'm just cheap.
It's okay to be cheap.
Yeah, it is okay to be cheap these days.
I can't afford to be cheap.
Everything's just expensive.
Yes, it is. What can we do about it? You just have to keep going, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep on going. But that's a real story.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. That's another story.
that's another story. Are you gonna be a cookie cutter guest the entire episode,
No,
or are you
but-
gonna like?
But what do you mean a cookie? I don't understand what you mean by cookie cutter.
It's like you sound afraid to voice your opinions.
No, you know me. I'm very opinionated.
Yeah, but I think you're trying to be like, almost like a like
Reserved?
No, not reserved. I think you're being like, like when you call up a service and they have those computer programs that answer you, and they're so like cookie cutter like responses.
Oh, I mean, they're so nice.
They're so nice during conversation. Like, I'm having the best day of my life
Oh,
today.
the AI garbage. stuff.
Yeah, like all that.
that's so scary.
You sound like a robot right now.
That is so scary.
And on this show, we like to ham it up.
You want to ham it up? Let's ham it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
great.
You want a ham sandwich?
No,
Okay.
that was a horrible joke.
I'm laughing.
That was Yeah, you're laughing. That was horrible. Do I want a ham sandwich? No. Don't
But
want.
you know what? Now that you got on the topic of AI, that's very scary.
You think it's scary?
It's very scary
Yeah.
because the top hackers, they can definitely, without a doubt in my mind, they get your voice. You're not going to know who it is.
Yep.
And I just read, not even read, but this a couple of days ago, I was listening to AM radio. Yeah, Mike Gallagher on. And Mike Gallagher, they were talking about a interview with, what's that person's name? Oh, geez. He's a late night guy.
Like one of those talk show hosts?
Talk show
Or
host, but he's late night. It's not,
Am I thinking of like the obvious ones like Jimmy Fallon?
not
or,
Jimmy Fallon, but similar to him. He's a little bit older. I cannot believe I can't remember his name.
Thinking of David Letterman?
Not Letterman. Similar to Letterman.
Conan O'Brien?
Not Conan.
Jay Leno?
Not Leno. No. Oh, geez. Why can't I not think of this guy's name? Oh, Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
Because
And-
he's coming back, right? He's doing his. Wait,
coming
he's
back.
writing everything now.
But here's the situation. AI was mimicking Bill Maher, and it actually left Mike Gallagher on AM radio and his office stumped because they could not believe that Bill Maher's calling into a radio station and professing that he's coming back on late night. So they had another guest on, and the guest said, "No, that's impossible. It can't be Bill Maher." Well, Mike Gallagher is arguing. So what do you mean? We called his office. They verified it. I said, because number one, and the guest that came on said one logical answer. Bill Maher does not go on talk radio. And that shut the whole conversation down. At that point, they found out that it wasn't Bill Maher. It was AI.
Oh, really? So it wasn't him at all.
It wasn't him at all.
It was just
the
an AI.
AI. That right there let the hair on my butt go up.
That's actually scary.
It's
yeah.
scary.
That it's that accurate. Yeah.
But can you imagine somebody calling you and saying, "Oh, you know what? Can you lend me $20? You know, you want $20? All right, whatever. Don't worry about it." What happens then? I mess up.
you
Say
send
something
the
you
wrong
shouldn't say.
send the wrong guy $20.
$20, but that's just the beginning of
Yeah.
something bigger. That's scary. That's really scary.
I see those AI videos on YouTube when they take. You ever seen those videos where it's like an AI presidential debate?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
They so it's a guy that takes the voices of Donald Trump and Joe Biden,
Okay.
and he has them debate each other, but they're asking a stupid question.
Oh, come on. Seriously.
So it's actually really funny because then the voices are incredibly accurate, and they sound like they're having a real conversation, but they ask some really stupid stuff.
Oh, my God. And you
Or
actually
they-
get a response, but the response is through
No.
AI.
It's somebody pre-recorded an AI message where you can tell an AI say this line, but as Joe Biden, and it can do. And then he just like edited the clips together where it sounds like a presidential debate
Wow.
when it's not really happening. It's all
Man,
AI.
that's very scary. Very scary.
Or like you see like funny ones where it's Barack Obama and Joe Biden play Minecraft together. They build a house in Minecraft.
Oh, my God. That's unbelievable.
And the AI makes it sound like they're building a house, like they're talking to each other, like
that's
it's really it's actually pretty funny.
That's exactly my point I'm trying
It's
to...
scary, but it's
It
funny.
is. For the time being, it's funny, but what's going to happen? I mean, again, you get some hackers that are so intelligent on this computer system,
Yeah.
and they start plugging in AI and get people's voicemail. I mean, people's voices. Anything can happen from
You know what Chat GPT is, right?
I've heard of it. I'm not 100% sure what it is.
So it's an app, well, not an app, like website program that was used by OpenAI, which is a company. It's a company called OpenAI.
Okay.
It basically does whatever you want. So it's like if you can go on to, I think you have to subscribe to it to use it, and then you can ask the AI to kind of do anything. So you can ask it like, draw me a picture of a horse on a farm, and it'll do it for you. It'll come up with a generated image.
Oh, my God.
Or it'll do like a lot of college students use it to write their term papers,
Okay.
and they cheat that way because you can't tell the difference between an AI generated paper versus an original paper.
Wow.
And the only way professors can tell is if like somebody wrote a paper in their own style and then submitted an AI one, and you have to compare the two to see how like
So the
if
comparison might
if
give
like
them
the
up.
written language sounds the same
So-
in comparison.
Yeah, the comparison will definitely give them up then. I mean, if it's picked up.
Yeah, because it generates one for you that hasn't been done yet.
Wow, that's wild.
You can say generate. You can say on the thing, generate me a term paper that hasn't been written yet.
But you see how scary my point is? You see how scary that is? If you can do that for school, and if your professor doesn't pick it up, what does that tell you? It can only enhance as time goes by, but that's the scary part.
Yeah,
So at the end of the day, you're calling your friend. Next thing you know, AI picks up. What do you do then?
yeah, it's hard to. You have to like. It's not perfect yet. Like you can still hear like. You can kind of hear when it cuts a little bit, like when it like talks like like when a robot
have to
talks.
pay attention to it.
You have to really pay attention to it, but sometimes it does that.
Well, everyone doesn't pay 100% attention to when you're saying having a conversation.
Yeah, you're just sitting there like waiting for.
Yeah, whatever it is. I mean, you wait for a response, you're waiting for a question to be asked, whatever. But that's what scares me the most.
Yeah.
That blew my mind when they could not tell if that was really Bill Maher or not. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that's a little crazy. Now, did you? We also discussed it before. Did you want to talk about real estate?
Yeah.
Did you have some ideas?
Well, I wanted to ask you about it since you've been in real estate for so long. So
Correct.
I'd rather get your opinion, like somebody that works in the industry for that long.
Okay.
Like if we can talk about just how the industry itself is going, and
Okay.
like especially because we're in New York, so
Correct.
like we talk about that. You talk about like why rent has gone up so high for like you can find like the shittiest apartment in New York City,
Yeah, you can.
and you have to
Absolutely.
pay like a minimum of $4,000.
Yeah,
just
that's
to per month just to live in squalor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, like what do you? So I'll ask you just a couple questions, and maybe teach the audience a little something.
Absolutely. Fire away.
So like so that'll be my first question. Like, why is rent so much higher?
Well, I mean, it's so many. There's a lot of different factors. Number one, you're getting people moving back in after COVID. Mm-hmm. People definitely coming back. The job market is out of control. The landlords that I've been seeing, and again, being part of that realm, they lost a lot of money. We lost a lot of money. Mm-hmm. When you cannot rent an apartment, and an apartment sits vacant, taxes don't stay vacant. The water and sewer doesn't stay vacant. The insurance doesn't stay vacant. But if the apartment stays vacant, that means you're not earning on that. You cannot supplement your expenses. So what they're really doing now is catching up. But they're looking for the people to say, how bad do you want this place? So now the people coming back into the market right after the COVID are saying, you know what, I need it. Whatever it is, I'll pay for it. But they're able to. But don't be surprised. It's not just one singular person. It's actually people getting together to rent these apartments out. And don't be surprised that if it's a one-bedroom apartment, you might have two people living there.
Yeah.
If it's a two-bedroom apartment, and believe me when I tell you, you might have 3 to 4 people living in there.
Yeah, it'll be like 3 or 4 friends get together
Exactly.
to share one apartment. Yeah.
I'll give you a little instance. Maybe about 20-some years ago, we were in Manhattan on the right off of Park Avenue in the 70s. There was a building that a friend of mine got a project on, so I was the project manager. It was a 3-bedroom apartment. It was 7 rooms, this
Okay.
apartment. There was 4 bedrooms. 7 rooms, 4 bedrooms. But one small bedroom was for the caretaker, or we say for the nanny, the house cleaner.
Okay.
But you had 4 different people signing a lease. And the rent was back, I'll get 25 years ago that I could remember. The rent was about between $5,000 to $6,000 a month. But you have to
5,000 to
realize,
6,000 a month.
but you have to realize this was a beautiful neighborhood, beautiful building. And it was a total gut renovation. So the owners put a good $150,000 into it, but they got it rented immediately.
But this is more like an expensive apartment.
Well, 25 some odd years ago, $5,000, $6,000 a month was expensive.
Yeah.
I remember studios were going for $1,800 a month. Mm-hmm. Today, studios are going for $3,000, $25,000, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
For studio. So it's a big, big change. But COVID had a lot to do with it.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's not going to change.
I know a lot of projects that come up are mostly residential, right? Like brand new construction projects.
Well, residential, are you talking about rentals?
Well, like you see these like 6-7 story like apartment buildings being built that even like in our neighborhood, like a mile or 2 away from us.
Yeah. Well, those buildings there, depending on who's building it and depending on the classification, it could be low-income housing or it could be...
I feel like the majority of it would be low income housing though.
Yes.
Given like the how much the range of like income in the city.
Well, if you take, let's say we'll take a number. Out of 10 buildings being built, you have approximately 9 that are low-income housing. Part of low-income housing.
Okay.
Or moderate income. Now, the new buildings are going up, and I just give it to anyone off the street. People have to go through a lottery process, meaning that they have to qualify for what they're renting. So if it's a studio, they might qualify, ask you, are you making $30,000 a year for a single person? If you say yes, and that's one of the particulars that you need for you to qualify to rent it, then you're allowed to come in. If not, got to move on. That's how it works. It's always a lottery system.
Okay. Oh, really? So it's like that more.
Well, low-income housing is part of a lottery system. That's what they use too, because there's so many applicants. And a lot of the applicants just aren't making enough to sustain themselves in it. So in the city,
it's more about like you were saying before. It's more about like they are desperate to live in New York City.
well, I mean, it's
Like where the
I'm talking
high
about
paying
the outer boroughs.
where like the high paying jobs are. Where
Well, the outer paying jobs are in the city like everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't qualify. You don't qualify for low income housing or moderate income. So yeah, that's why they have a lottery system. But again, it's par for the course of giving everyone an opportunity to go into something new. But here's the kicker, and a lot of people don't realize it, that all these buildings that they're putting up, these low income housing, the units are small. That's how
Yeah.
they're just. That's why they put in a building that you're able to put up 50 units. You might be able to put up 60 units because the units are so small.
Because it's only like a quarter of a block, but it's 7 stories tall.
Yeah, but
50 units,
the units
uh,
are small. It's
yeah.
not like in the older buildings.
Yeah.
1-bedroom apartment in the older buildings, you're looking at 400, 500 square feet. That's a lot.
I heard that everything in there is electrical. They remove a lot of like gas.
These, yes.
Like there's no gas stoves in those apartments because they're like forcing a push towards electrical equipment.
That is correct. So they're all electric. They're all electric stoves, electric.
Yeah.
Well, not electric heating, but definitely electric stoves across the board.
Yeah.
Now, what they're also doing is on the rooftop. They're also installing solar panels. That's another. That's another.
Another
plus.
like. Is that a way to go green, or is it just pushing for another like?
No, that's definitely. They're all going green. Mm-hmm. Now,
would that be enough to power the building, or is
no,
it just
not enough power of the building, but it's enough just for the hall lights,
Mm-hmm.
emergency lights. I mean, whatever else that you need. It could be for the elevator, but there's only so much it's going to be able to do on what they can put on the roof
right?
that they're approved for. So that's, again, it's all par for the course, depending on the size of the building, size of the roof that can handle the extra weight.
Yeah, because we've had. I remember one week a while back during the summer, we had like maybe 3 or 4 solar power guys come to our door asking the same thing, like, "Are you interested in having solar panels?" Because a lot of buildings are getting solar panels.
We're getting one a week over here.
No,
During
there
the
was no.
summertime-
There was like a week where it was like 3 or 4 guys like in that
Yeah.
1 week came to the house,
Yeah.
like, from different companies,
It's
not the
too
same,
much.
not the same company.
Too much. How many times can you keep saying no, meaning please don't come back in?
One of the guys, I remember, like as soon as I saw the cap and the polo shirt, I'm like, let me guess, you're
Gotta go.
solar power. Right?
You know, I told one guy, if you don't leave here, I'm gonna send my cat after you.
You send the cap.
I mean, it gets to the point where it just gets a little crazy. I mean, guys, no's a no. Leave me
Well,
alone.
they're from different companies, so they don't know that you've already spoken to a representative from another company.
Well, the problem is you can only be so congealed at a certain point before the fangs start coming out. I mean, come on, dude, give me a
Well,
break.
yeah, but if it's not different, if they're from the same company, I can understand that. But it's like they were all from different companies; they were not from the same group.
Well,
So they were making rounds in the cities.
but it's very annoying.
It's very annoying, but they're making rounds through the boroughs like for the first time, trying to ask people, "Are you interested in solar?" I'm like, "No, you're the third guy that's been here today."
You know what's even more annoying is that we're having dinner, and next thing you take your fork and you're about to put a piece of pasta in your mouth and get the doorbell rings. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Then you have to put the fork back down to answer it. Who it is? A solar guy.
Well,
Really? guy?
door to door doesn't have a schedule. They just show up whenever
Exactly.
they feel. Right.
But it's like to throw them in the oven.
And door to door in New York City is tough.
Oh, let me tell you, you have to
How
have
many
some pair of
times?
balls.
How many times like the door gets slammed in your face? How many times they threaten to kill you if you come
Oh
back?
my God.
It's almost funny.
Forget it. Especially if somebody comes after you with a spatula, you got a problem.
Yeah, that's just.
You got a problem.
It's bold to try it, but you're better off sending emails or leaving those little postcards of your business.
Oh, they got to stop. It's annoying.
Yeah, because you work in real estate and then you get these like cards from real estate brokers, like hire me to do that. Like, why would I hire like a competitor to do my business?
That's the funny thing.
Yeah, it's weird because like I don't think they check like where these people who lives here or if there's like a
They
business
don't.
here.
They don't. Whoever comes to the door, they have a conversation with. They're anticipating that you're the owner. You could just be a renter, but they don't know that.
Yeah,
But they're gonna be asking. But it's just annoying for you to come to my front door at dinner time when I want some just peace and I want to enjoy my drink.
Because we usually eat like 4:35.
Oh, I keep telling him I don't want to eat Geritol hours.
Well, they're probably thinking like most people eat 5 or 6, so they're all home. Let me go now.
Mr. Annoying, as we say.
But like that just pisses people off.
It does. It does. Leave me alone. A long day, up early, get home late, and I got to listen to your crap. I tell you what, take your solar panels and go away. Go fly somewhere. Don't come back. Look at the sun. Maybe the sun will give you a break, but get out of here.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Well, they try. I mean,
Well, you know what they do. You know what they're doing, right?
I respect the effort because but not interested.
No. Well, you realize that if they don't get you to subscribe, they don't make any money. Mm-hmm. They have no bonus.
It's all commission.
It's all commission.
Yeah.
Which I believe that's what it is. Or that if you do get a nice job or you set up a nice project for the company, you might get a bonus. Who knows? But this is crazy what's going on. I mean, especially with the city pushing this green deal stuff. You got to gradually flow into it.
Yeah. They just want to force it and put it in
you
immediately.
can't just have this it's a shock. Not ready for it.
Yeah. And I saw so like over the weekend, like as you know very well, I went to the Global Citizen Festival.
Okay, sure.
I went with Alyssa and her family because they had extra tickets. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll go. It sucked. It was a terrible. So, and the reason why it sucked because that was the first time I'm going because I had never been there before. The first time I'm going, and it is pouring rain.
Well,
the entire time.
The problem is that you're not used to going to see a concert in the rain. You weren't ready for it.
I didn't want to go in the rain at all.
Well, that's why you have to be prepared. The poncho was great.
Yeah, but like they were telling me, like Alyssa and her family were telling me the same thing. Like this is the first time that they're standing out here in the rain just to go to a music festival.
But let me just forewarn you: when you wear a poncho, you have to be dressed warm. The poncho does not keep you warm.
I was fine.
It's just a water repellent. That's what it's there for. Doesn't mean you're gonna be dry the whole time. Some parts of your body are gonna get wet.
No, it's the whole process that they like. I remember they asked us like you have to bring a paper copy of your ticket.
Yeah.
Even though it's 2023 and everything's done on your cell phone.
Wow, that's
and we were like, really, on the worst rainy day.
That's weird.
Of September, you want me to bring a paper copy of my ticket?
But that's ridiculous. But then again, like, you know what? It all depends who set it up.
Like that's so stupid. Like who? It's probably like an old person that set that up that doesn't know how to use a cell phone.
Well, that's another story. Yeah, they're not computer enhanced.
We got there. We got in Manhattan around like 11 o'clock. This is at Central Park. Got there around 11 o'clock. The line was already 4 blocks down by the time we got there.
What part of Central Park? Was it on 59th Street or 72nd?
We went to the. I think they opened up the West and East Gate for it. So I went to my ticket had the West Gate entrance. So I was on 72nd and Central Park West.
I was gonna say, okay, all right.
And that was like the entrance to get in, but the entrance wasn't going to open until 12.
Wow.
So we were standing out there in the rain. I got my poncho. Like I'm warm, but I'm just soaked wet. Like my feet are soaking wet, my hands are soaking wet.
That's definitely gonna get wet.
Yeah. And we're waiting online for an hour. I'm soaking wet. Then they finally let us in. So the gate to go into Central Park opens at noon.
Okay.
But starting to file in line to scan your tickets and then go through the metal detectors and security doesn't start until 2.
Oh, come on. That's ridiculous now.
So they made us wait an additional 2 hours in the park getting rained on.
Wow, what a mismanagement.
And I'm like... And like they were telling everybody, like no umbrella, like you're not allowed to bring umbrellas to Central Park for the festival because umbrellas are, in their words, considered as a form of weaponry.
Yes, it can be. Absolutely. The point is sharp. You could definitely.
People still brought umbrellas.
Well, obviously,
some people snuck them in.
Well, they weren't following procedure.
Yeah. But they didn't get caught. They just snuck right in. After they were in, the security was like just minding their own business.
Yeah, well, at that point, they're going to have to. But yes, but it's supposed to be an experience. Now, you got Central Park.
It wasn't a very good experience.
Well, you figure Central Park is about 60 some odd blocks going north, from south to north, right? You're in the rain, you have a poncho, it's supposed to be an experience. But you have to be ready for it.
I was ready for it. I still didn't enjoy it. It was horrible.
But come on,
was
get to listen
terrible.
to few music.
I was listening to music in the pouring rain, standing completely still.
Boy.
By the time, so it opened up at 2. We got at there by maybe 3:30.
Wow, that's crazy. But that's late. But then your whole
By
timing
the
is
time,
off.
by the time the line was moving through, the time that it took for them to scan the tickets, go through the security measures, and do all that crap, took an extra hour.
Oh my God.
And like they have to check all your bags and everything. They have to they go through all the measures, right?
Well, let me ask you, roughly, how many people were there?
There was like, I want to say more than maybe 2,000, 3,000 people there.
Wow.
No, even more than that. There's probably like,
On a rainy day like that.
yeah, people show up.
hysteria. That's hysteria.
But the people that go, they're not there to for the global citizen. I don't believe that at all. These people did not come out on a rainy day, soaking wet, just to hear people talk about climate change and teaching kids how to read in Africa.
So what do you think it was about?
It was about just watching the music.
But what do you think the
It was all
people
about
came out there
performances.
You said people, you figure people weren't there to see the show only. But what were they there for?
No. Like people showed up for the music. They
Yeah.
didn't show up to hear
Like a newscast.
like actors and representatives from the global citizen group, activist
but wait
group,
a
to
minute.
talk about climate change.
Hold on a second. The magic word is the Global Citizens Group. That word there alone, those 3 letters tell you exactly what it's about before you get to the finale of the music.
Also, they need to set it up better. So then, in my opinion, when you're going to an event, if you're going to hold, if it's a music event,
Yeah.
I don't want my music being interrupted after every performance
But
by a
what-
speech
But
about
what
something.
organization put this together? The Global?
Global.
Well, that's
Let
why.
me hold on. I'm gonna Google what the company is. Hold on.
Well, you can't argue because Global brought you the music, so you have to listen to them first.
Hold on.
Which only is right is right.
Let's see who it's run by. Hold on. Yeah, it's run by globalcitizen.org.
Well,
yeah.
you have to listen to it. You have to listen
No,
to their
no, I
pitch.
know that, but this is how they should have set it up instead. What they should have set it up was you have everybody come in,
Mm-hmm.
you like start off the festival, you have like a little bit, they started off with a DJ.
Okay.
His name
That's
was
nice.
His name was DJ D Nice. You ever heard of him? He's
Never
like an
heard of the guy.
old school, like I don't even know who he was until I saw it. They just said, and with the work of DJ D Nice, and then they
I
started
got
playing.
no idea what the guy is.
He just played some of like the popular songs that came out on the radio.
Like what? From the 80s, 70s?
No, like that came out like this year.
This
He
year?
was playing like some hot songs that came out from this year.
Yeah, well, you see, that's past my time.
And then like like when like they play the songs, but then they put like a little reverb in it, like that.
Oh, my God.
A little bit like that, and then like that's them being like an easy DJ. It doesn't
That's
really-
simplicity. It's
very simple.
It's not
It's
funny.
very simple. I think it was just to keep people entertained.
Yeah, it's not intriguing, though.
So then they started off with like an introduction, like for the company and what everybody else is doing. They had a few people speak, a couple representatives speak, but then they put on the speech went on for a while because they're talking about all their what they want to accomplish.
Was it a job interview?
No, they were doing. It felt like a job interview. They were doing. They were doing like a QR code scan thing. Like, scan this QR code with your phone to submit a selfie of yourself for the project to show that you support Global Citizen.
Oh, my God.
Something
There we
like
go.
that.
You see?
You
see
know
right
what?
there.
But you know what was stupid? Because like when you go to a concert, they have multiple screens up so you can see if you're far back.
Correct.
The screens were covered by the speakers.
Oh, my God.
So you couldn't see anything. You couldn't see anything. And the fans were like, how do we look up here? Like they're trying to excite them a little bit. And the fans are like, we can't see you. The speakers are too low.
Oh, my God.
Raise
Give me a
up because
break.
they were like how tall were they? They were maybe like 20, 30 feet tall, like of speakers up in a row.
Okay.
But they were on the stage in front of the screen. The two
That's
screens
weird.
like this, side to side.
That's weird.
And then later on, somebody like had the bright idea, like, oh wait, maybe we should move them, because then the crew came in and they moved them up, so you can finally see.
A brainiac came to play.
Yeah, finally, it took long enough for them to do that.
Somebody rolled the right dice.
So then, but Big point being that I'm standing in the rain. This was like a 7-hour, 8-hour show.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's
I'm
crazy.
standing there. I'm not sitting down. I'm standing there for hours on end, soaking
that's too
wet.
much.
I'm
That's too
cold.
much.
It was just too much. Like, it
No,
was a
that's not
bad
enjoying. You
experience.
cannot enjoy the music.
I wasn't
at that
enjoying.
stage.
No, you can't, because you're sitting there like just like
Well,
keeping your eyes
especially if
shut,
you
waiting for
got-
the water to
if you-
go
Especially
through.
if you got there at 11, and then they started issuing people in at 12, and then nothing started until 2.
Yeah, like why did you open the doors at 12 and then make us wait another 2 hours?
Right. So you already wasted 3 hours standing up, going through bull crap. It's very difficult to even enjoy. It doesn't matter who was on. Even if you two came on, I'm like, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
going home. I'm out of here. This is
A
bullshit.
lot of people left. A lot of
They
people
don't
got off
choice
the line. They
because
were like,
it's
"Fuck this,
crazy.
I'm leaving."
Very mismanaged. I really believe that you know what you just said before, that take your phone out and whatever. That's the first thing to say. You know what? I'm not giving you nothing, because now what you want to do is you want to start advertising on my phone. Nah, not for me. Thank you, but no thank you. Goodbye.
So like after each performance, another like set of members of Global Citizen would come up to talk. But
Individually,
they would put them in like 2 or 3 at a time. So let's say like like a rep, like I think Bill Nye was there. He's a member of the Global Citizen.
okay.
So he was there with like another representative. They were talking for like maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Now, what were they talking about though?
They were talking about depending on the
Specific, what were they
project that they were specifically talking about. So let's say like Bill Nye was talking about climate change specifically.
I get with the climate change.
Yeah, he was talking about fossil fuels and the push for green energy and electric
perfectly
cars
understand.
and all that. And then like he brought up this number. He brought up 86%. He brought up like one of these like statistics where it was like 86% of fossil fuels do this, and that. And I was like, but I'm like, where did you get 86% from?
The numbers were probably turned around. It was probably 68%.
Or something. I don't know what it was, but
It's such a bunch of
but
bullshit.
but every time that every performer that would go on, like a performer would go on for maybe 10, 15 minutes because they cut their performances in half.
Okay.
They cut the performances in half.
So the performers cut their performances.
No, the Global Citizen, whoever was running it, was telling them because it's raining, just cut your songs in half. Instead of doing 6 or 7 songs, do 3 or 4.
So that's it. It's shot. It's shot.
Because they knew like people are getting upset. They're standing out there.
Well, they're getting upset. Standing out there, they're standing
And
out
then-
there
and
for the
then-
music, not for your nonsense.
Yeah, because that's what I'm talking about. Like people are here for the music.
That's right. Not
And
only
yes,
your bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of people are supportive of Global Citizen and from what it's able to accomplish. But when you advertise so heavily about your music groups, they're there for the music.
100%. I want to listen to my group.
So here's what I think they should have done. Every representative that wanted to speak, they should have done this. They should have opened up with the DJ like they did. Then for the next maybe 20 to 30 minutes, you should have just had every representative on stage
That makes
talking
sense.
one after the other. Let them get their shit out.
That makes sense.
To
Get
talk
that
about
spiel out.
what their project is, how important it is, what it means to them, and what you can do about it if you want to join it.
You're 100% correct. Do not interfere when the band comes on. I don't want to hear you interfere.
Yeah, because then like you're getting hyped up for the music,
Yeah.
and then as soon as the music cuts off, the performer leaves. Goes like, and now with a speech from our representative named this and that.
Oh, but that's ridiculous.
And then like
Come
in
on.
the crowd, I'm standing in the crowd. Everyone goes like, "Oh, what the fuck? Come on!
Yeah,
I was
that's
just getting hyped
ridiculous.
up already."
Come on, that's
these guys
silly.
really don't know how to plan anything.
You know what that tells me? They got popcorn for brains.
Yeah,
And it's still popping. I mean, they got to stop the nonsense.
It's-
You know what? I would have been pissed. I would have been so angry.
it's just about planning. That's what it is. It's
Well,
about
they planned it
proper. It's about
wrong.
proper planning. That's
Yeah,
what
but
it
you
is.
see, you know what I don't like? I don't like the bait and switch bullshit. That's bait and switch.
Yeah.
You want to have your Global Citizen, great. You want to speak, great. But once you start mixing with the music, now you're taking too much advantage of it. Let the music. Let's enjoy it. Say what you have
Yeah.
to say.
Bring out all
Yeah,
your
get
projects
your
you have to talk
point
about
out.
and how important it is.
We'll all agree to it. You're 100% correct. Now get off the fucking stage and let me put the singers on.
Yeah, and then
Come on,
let us
goddammit.
enjoy ourselves because we're already dying in here.
Makes no sense, especially on a day that you went. That's crazy.
On a day like that where we're all soaking wet, like
That
nobody
makes no
wants
sense.
to hear this.
Absolutely not.
And
Instead
then,
of football,
and then they need to take acting classes so badly because then it would cut to them because like one of them refused to come out to talk on stage. She was in the tent
From Global?
She was in a tent.
So she was talking from the tent.
Talking from the tent
Oh,
inside.
that's bullshit.
And then she was like talking to the people inside. So then when the camera would turn back on, she would be like, "Oh man, it's really toasty in here."
Oh,
and
really?
And then all the fans are like, "Oh, fuck you!" Like
Bitch.
what the hell is that about? Like,
That's a crack of bullshit.
and I'm like,
You know what?
Like you guys need acting courses. Like
Throw it in the garbage. I really don't care what you have to say because you're not
yeah,
real.
like because these people are now they're pissed.
You're not real.
Their performers are not coming on right away. But here's another thing. So one of the big performers. Do you listen to Korean pop music at all?
No, absolutely not, kiddo.
So,
That's your point. That's your time, not mine.
So, but like today, there's a Korean pop music is very big in America. Like
Okay.
especially with like people my age, a little bit younger than me.
Yeah.
So one of the performers, I think. Was it? No, it was two K-pop groups. I know for a fact. One of them was called Stray Kids,
Stray Kids.
which I think has like
Stray Cats?
Stray Kids. That's the name of the group, but I think it's like 5 or 6 guys. But only
They should
3
call
of
them
them.
Stray Kittens.
But only 3 of them were. But only 3 of the members showed up to perform because
How many are there?
I think there's 5 or 6 of them. But the reason why only 3 of them showed up was because Alyssa was telling me that some of them in South Korea, depending on your age, you have to do mandatory military service.
Well, across the world, it's like that.
Yeah, so like even if you're like if you're famous, you're bringing in millions of dollars of revenue
No,
for
it
the
doesn't
company, you
matter.
still got to go
Doesn't
serve.
matter. You know, Italy's the same way.
Which I kind of respect. I
Yes,
respect that they
yes.
make them do that.
Well, you realize in Italy, when you turn 18, you have to put at least a year and a half in the army.
Yeah.
And I had
You have
to register.
you have to put 18 months in.
18 months. When you turn 18, you got to put a year and a half.
Yeah.
When I turned 18 here, I also had to register with the Italian army. I had to send my paperwork in
Yeah.
to let them know that I'm registering in case you need me, whatever, God forbid something happens. But I'm not coming there to serve.
Yeah.
I'm here. But I also had to register for here.
Did they ever call you for that?
No. No, there was no
Because
need
it
to.
would be hard to bring you over. Would it be hard to bring you over from America to go serve in
No,
Italy?
what happens is the way it works is if they was in conflict and they
Mm-hmm.
need male, the male of the house, and now again,
Yeah.
I'm the 6th child, number 6, and I'm only a boy. I was the only boy of 6 children. Yes, they will call and say, "Okay, we need you to come back because we have a conflict." Mm-hmm. It's a possibility, and if I don't go, then if I was to go back to Italy, they grab me right off the plane.
Yeah.
And I don't need that stuff.
Yeah, you don't need that. We know nobody needs that type of shit.
But that's how it works.
Yeah. So anyway, back to my point. So most of the members, I think, were either serving military time or doing something because only 3 of them showed up.
That's a
and
bummer.
they did a couple songs. They're very popular. They're a very popular group. They make millions.
here?
Here, America, K-pop music is
And
very
what song?
popular. here.
What do they sing? What kind of music?
They do. It's in. Well, most of the stuff is in. I think they have like English versions, but most of their songs are in Korean.
Was it
Specifically.
like doo-wop? Like not doo-wop, sorry.
No. It's like
Throwing balls against the wall?
high paced like pop music, a little bit of actually I don't know. It kind of sounds like a little bit of dubstep, a little bit of.
I got no idea what the hell that
I'll
is.
show you after, and you
What,
hear.
do they
about it.
play instruments or they just sing and dance?
They sing and dance.
They don't
I
play
think.
instruments?
Well, no. They all produce it on a computer. You don't have to play instruments.
Oh,
anymore.
for love of God Almighty!
That's how it is. No.
You know what that is to
That's
me?
that's a thing. You don't have to
That's
all over
bullshit.
a computer.
That's bullshit.
Back in the day, yeah, you had to play the instrument, but today it's
But
all.
that's my era where creating the music
Yeah.
by you being a real performer. That's where it happens.
But today it's not the same. Today you got all these computer systems that can generate
oh
music
my
for
God,
you.
that's bullshit. That's
But
the
it
easy
makes
way.
a lot of money.
Yes, I understand it makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it
But what I've heard is that they're in the studio producing their own music.
okay through a computer.
Well, even if it's through a computer, they're still doing it themselves. They're not hiring people to do it for them.
You mean they're not hiring musicians?
They're not hiring not musicians, but they're not hiring like ghostwriters. They're not hiring
No, but forget about ghostwriters. I'm talking about more about musicians. They have no musicians on end. It's all
I don't
computer
know.
generated.
I don't know the whole thing, but I'm sure like somebody like on a soundboard or something is creating the beats or however they do it.
That would make Ozzy Osbourne really bite another bat's head off. It doesn't work that way.
I know, but that's just how it is. Like you can
Oh my
pre-record,
God.
or like somebody's probably playing the instrument, pre-recording it, and then they take it on a computer file and they like switch it up or something.
I got to call the Edge from U2 and say, Edge, guess what? I don't need you playing guitar anymore. Use a computer.
Yeah,
You know what he'll say? He'll hit you over the head with his guitar.
probably would. Yeah,
He says, you crazy? And you know what Bono would do? Hit you with a microphone. Come get out of here. Are you crazy?
that's just how it rolls today.
You know what I have a problem with that? Once you put you know what a computer is? A computer is just a mixer. It mixes everything together.
Yeah.
They found...
But it creates a lot of different sounds.
But-
even if it's not original, it's not being made in front of you.
To me, it's fake.
It's making, to you it's fake, but to
me, it's
people
fake.
today it's making a lot of money.
You know what's fake? Like you said, we make our own sauce.
Yeah.
We bottle it, right?
Yeah.
We buy the tomatoes, we crush the tomatoes, bottle them up. It's like
the
going
salt,
to
put
the
the basil
store. It's like going to the store and buying Chef Boyardee and say, you want raviolis tonight? We got Chef Boyardee. No, I don't think so.
Well, you're not used to it yet.
Used to what?
You're not used to this generation yet.
First of all, Chef Boyardee is
I'm talking about music. Chef Boyardee tastes like shit.
Yes, exactly. It's not even cooked al dente. It's overcooked. It's garbage.
Who the hell is Chef Boyardee?
Well, I must have been a chef and it was boy. Hey, RD, how you doing?
Is Boyardee spelled with a Y or an I?
E. Chef Boyardee. I think.
Yeah, that's not an Italian
It's all shit.
chef. I don't know
to
who
me, it
the
doesn't
hell
really
that
matter
is.
because it's shit music.
It doesn't taste good.
I wouldn't even feed that to the cats.
It doesn't taste good.
Tastes good. Are you kidding me? My God Almighty. Maybe
It's
I'll
just
try
a-
Chef Boyardee for World War V.
Nobody
and there
knows
was
how
no
to-
food anywhere.
Nobody knows how to cook properly.
No, cooking is an art.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that, oh my God, I got to go home and cook and I can't cook. You know what? It's an art. For you to put something together and cook it, it's fantastic. It's an art. I learned how to cook at a very young age because if you want to eat, you got to cook.
Yeah.
Right? So it's an enjoyment. When you really get the pan out and put whatever you want to put inside, especially how we cook, come on. It's pleasure. We cheat by ordering pizza. We cheat by ordering a sandwich. But most of 99.9% of the times, we make our own food.
Yeah.
We cook.
I know.
That's
I was there. I made it with you.
I know you did.
Yeah, I know. But that's just how it is. But let me get back to my topic. So anyway, you had the group called Stray Kids that was there,
Right.
And then you had one member from a band called BTS, which is I think the most popular K-pop group in South Korea.
I heard about BTS.
Yeah, they make so much money,
That's crazy.
but only one of their members was there. His name is Jungkook.
And how many are there?
I think there's 8 or 9 of them.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a whole group of people singing and dancing together.
Oh my God.
Those were the two K-pop groups that were, well, not group. It was one guy and then a group, but they were playing there. I swear to, like they put them like later on in the list for who went up to go sing.
Right.
After they performed, half the crowd left.
Oh, they weren't into their music. To them, it was
No. 50%, at least 50% of the people that went there to that festival, as soon as, because Jungkook went after Stray Kids.
Okay.
As soon as he finished performing, they left. They got up, left the concert. They were like, "I'm done. I saw the person I wanted to see. I'm leaving."
Oh my
Right,
God.
right. Even before the next speech came on from the global citizen representative, whoever was
People
up
just
there.
took off.
They just left. They
Well,
were
they
like,
were
I
frustrated.
saw whoever I wanted to see. I'm leaving. I'm
But
done.
at the same time, they're also frustrated because of the weather and everything else. And it just,
But think about that for a second. Like they stayed all the way up to their favorite K-pop star, and then they left.
Well,
they were
it's
like
new music for them.
They were like, I only came to see this guy, and then I saw them, and now I'm leaving.
well, that's what
And
it
that was
They
so
were
like
satisfied.
again it like pushes my point that the people that came, it's a free festival, right? So the people who came here, they're just for the music.
Correct.
So that's why when you keep interrupting the music, you're just making people upset.
Oh, it gets annoying.
Like I stayed all the way to the end because the last band to perform was the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And
Wait, when did they play? Did they play first?
they played last.
Wow.
They-
I thought they went first.
No, because they did the first lineup, and then they did the final speeches, and then they put on the last. I think like the last hour was Lauryn Hill and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It just has straight music, just to perform.
Well, how many songs did they do each?
I think they both did around. I want to say 5 or 6 songs each.
Wow, that's
So
a
they
nice
did their
performance.
full. They did their full performances.
That's a good performance. I got to
Yeah.
say, I like Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Plus, we have a CD of hers, which I like.
She it was her, and then I think she brought on the Fugees, like
very
one of the guys from the
nice.
Fugees.
That's entertaining. Yep.
So like they did like their like midway through the song they were like help us like help us bring back the environment for the Amazon, or bring back the resources for Haiti and for
Understood.
African
Sure,
Americans and things like that.
Well, Haiti needs it. It's just such an impoverished country. It
Yeah.
really is.
So they talked about that, and then I think Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't remember what they were talking about, but I know because I liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers, so I stayed till the end. We only stayed for maybe 3 or 4 of the songs, and then we were like, if we don't leave now, we're gonna get caught in like foot traffic on the way
You'll never
back.
get out of there.
So we left afterwards, but they did very well too. So
Nice, very nice.
but like.
Well, you just have to see the best part of the whole show. Well, that was a nice thing.
Because like when you're in the crowd and you hear people getting upset, you're hearing people are getting upset. Like
How can you not?
like
Because
they're getting
number one,
mad
it's a
because they're
shitty
infuriated.
day.
They're like we're stuck in the rain. It's freezing cold. It's annoying.
Well, that's what it is. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So
But you know what? I'm glad you had a good time, which is very good.
yeah, it wasn't bad, but I'm like. Like I'm trying to enjoy it, but I'm also sitting there like just slowly suffering.
But now you know next time, even though you have a
No, I'm just
poncho
not
on.
gonna go.
No, you're gonna definitely.
No,
go
I'm just
again.
not gonna go.
You're gonna go again. The problem that next time you got a poncho, you gotta dress warm. You really do. You have to dress warm.
I was warm. I was fine. It was my hands and the bottom of my feet.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, because the poncho doesn't cover those.
No, they don't.
So yeah.
At least you got to enjoy yourself, which is very good. It's an experience. Listen, it's an experience.
Well, I've never been there before, so I was like, "Oh, I have a free ticket if you want to go." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go."
Well, it's very nice that she thought about you.
Yeah.
Good for her. I'm glad. No, you had a good time. I'm glad. I'm glad you worked it out. You enjoyed it, even though it was a pain in the ass here and there. But at least you enjoyed
Big
it.
ass pain in the ass, but
It is.
yeah. Do you have any more? I know we talked about that for a while, but do you have any more like real estate topics you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of real estate that's going on. I mean, with all the jobs going on, but the biggest problem that we see right now is that because the interest rates have hit so high, I see a lot of people and investors they're running scared right now, because what happens when they have commercial mortgages, it's always between a 5 and a 10-year term.
Okay.
Meaning, you might have a 5-year mortgage, then before it changes to another interest rate at the second 5 years, it depends on where you are. You can get hurt. With this year around, a lot of people with their mortgages coming due for refinancing, they're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people paying 3%, 3.5%, 4%. What's happening now is they're gonna go to 7%, 6.5%. That's a big jump. It's a big clinch. It's gonna hurt. So there's gonna be a lot of pullback, take back from the banks. I just noticed there's a lot of foreclosures going on under the housing market, 1, 2, and 3 family homes. But you know what's going on most?
What?
Short sales.
Short sales.
Short sales.
Can you explain that for the audience?
short-
Explain it for me too.
A short sale is when a person cannot make their mortgage payments any longer. So instead of going through a foreclosure process, what they want to do is have a conversation with the bank. The bank will agree to a short sale, but depending on how strong the person is that's going to be coming in to buy the property. So let's just say hypothetically you have a $300,000 mortgage on your house. It's a one-family house. I'm just throwing things out there for the moment. So what ends up happening is the bank is going to say, okay, we don't want to foreclose on you and drag you that whole year and a half for this. We'll do a short sale. We're open to short sales, meaning you don't have to put the house on the market, get somebody in and tell them, my mortgage is $300,000, but the bank is agreeing to a short sale. Now the short sale could be $250,000, $290,000, $200,000. It depends on what it is and the value of the house. Now, a lot of times, the value of the house might start at $500,000 value, and then over time might decrease to $400,000, $300,000 or below. And why does that happen? Because of the people let the houses go. Meaning, roof is an issue, mechanical systems is an issue,
There's no upkeep. For
No
the-
upkeep. The house is in disarray. The electrical is shot. Water damage. It could be numerous or it could be everything. So what do you do then? You have to put another $100,000 back into the house to renovate it. $50,000 in to renovate it. So, but when you do a short sale, you have to be ready with cash or fast financing to get in to be approved. And that's what's going on today. I'm just finding out, not finding out, but with the organizations that I belong to,
Okay.
I am looking at every. So let's say there's 300 listings. Now, 300 listings being 100% of the 300, I would say 30%, 40% are short sales. That's a big number. Big number. So you talk about 40 homes. 300 homes. 120 homes are the short sales. That's big. Now, a lot of people who can afford the $300, the $400, $500,000 value have to come up very quickly. They have to have money available to do a short sale, or else the bank can say, you know what, I need somebody strong. I'm ready to rock and roll. And if you can't do that, it's just going to sit there until somebody comes up to the table. So it's good if you have big money, but it's bad if you can't sustain or you don't have it. Or you have to get... The only way for me to buy the short sale is if I apply for a mortgage. It doesn't fly. It might,
Yeah.
depending on the bank that you're with. It all depends. But it's always good to have cash ready to rock and roll.
And how many people do you think have that kind of cash?
For a lot of people.
Do they really? I thought that number would
Well,
be very
it's
low.
investment companies.
No, like people like us, like normal people.
Singular people,
I feel like they
You
wouldn't
never
have.
know.
I feel like they wouldn't really have that money
you
available.
never know. You never know. You can't say because you just don't know what anybody has. So you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. If they can apply it, they can act on it, they can close it, good for them. It is what it is.
Cool.
But there's three things with real estate that you can do. Number one, you can sell it and you make money. Right? Mm-hmm. You can finance it or refinance it and pull out money. And when the house, God forbid, catches fire or something happens to the house nature-wise,
Oh, I happened to leave the candle on and it caught fire.
that's what and you get paid and you still make money. So those three items, you always make money on real estate.
Right.
It's a tangible asset and it'll always be there. And it's always good for your portfolio. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so good about it.
I remember you telling me that a lot of like the price range for a home depends on the size of the property.
That's correct.
So like, cause there's a house by us that the house is like, I want to say barely 5,000 square feet, but it has like a 30-foot yard. Do you remember that house when you're going down towards the train station?
30-foot yard. You talk about the back of the yard, back of the house has a
No,
30
the
foot-
front yard of the house, like there's like a long walkway.
Oh,
up
so the
to
house is
front.
built towards the back.
The house is built towards the back with a long lawn coming up to the front. I want to give it more like 50 feet. It's towards the as you're walking towards the train station.
Wow. Well, a situation like that, the house is misbuilt. It's misbuilt.
But like, would that like if I wanted to buy that lot,
Uh-huh.
would it be more expensive because of the available space, even if the house is like that small?
Well,
Because you're getting the yard too, not just the house.
Well, it's relative. Number one, you have to figure out the zoning that you're in. If you buy the house and the yard and it's a big piece of property, it depends on what kind of money you have. You can buy the house, tear it down, and build a mansion there, but it depends on the size of the property to keep up the value of to what if you want to decide to do it. If a house is not located correctly on the lot, like this particular house you're talking about, I think I know what you're talking about. I think it's set in the back.
Yeah, it's that far in the back with a lot of
further
green.
in the back. It's got no rear yardage. All the yard is in the front.
Yeah.
So, respectively, the house is useless.
Does anybody live there, or is it just abandoned?
I have no idea.
Because it's so overgrown and there's
Right.
garbage everywhere.
It probably might be abandoned, but again, the case in point is the house is in the wrong position. Going all the way to the back, you have nothing in the back. You have no exposure in the back, so everything's in the front. So there's no there's no privacy in that respect. So If you have a big piece of property like that and you have a small house, what's the next best thing to do? Tear the house down.
Just tear the house down and rebuild.
Tear it down and build another one. Something more compelling, more square footage that's really going to be utilized better.
Yeah.
That house, which I think I know when you're talking about it, is useless.
But would like the starting price to buy that lot?
Oh, that there.
Would it be a lot more than the
No, not a
average house?
lot. Not a lot more, but
I'm guessing just based on the size of the open lot.
it's actually more based on the lot, the size of the lot.
Yeah, because based on, like I was saying, based on the size of the lot itself, in
That's
comparison
what's
to
more.
the other houses in the neighborhood, it would have higher starting price.
It might, but then again, it's all relative. It's all relative. What's the cost going to be to tear it down and build a new house? Does it make sense? Is it going to be somewhere in the close to $1 million range? Who knows? So you cannot overpay for it.
Right.
Unless you do overpay for it, but that's where you want to live for the rest of your life, then it matters.
And before we call it, I want to ask one more question.
Sure.
We see like all the time, like in our borough, we see specifically like houses that are sold way above market value.
Okay.
Why do you think they're able to sell that far?
Well,
Like if a house's market value is $800K, right?
Okay.
Why are they able to put it on the market for 1.2 million? And then they get bought. People buy them.
Well, we know that 100%. Well, it starts off the way things work. There has to be the appraisal value somewhere. So someone started off when the interest rates were very low, before I would say Biden came into office, because that's where we hit with all these high interest rates and these all inflationary
Okay.
because of what happened. That's what started it. So you need one person to sell his house for $500,000. The next person might sell it for $600,000. Now, why is there a difference? Because it depends on how bad they want the property. Now, a lot of these houses went to a bidding wars. So if I'm asking for 500, next thing you know, I'm getting 650. Why? Because it went into a bidding war. Again, the people, it's cheap money. They're able to get more than they expected because the interest rates are cheap. So they have more buying power. So if you go to the bank right now at 7% and you make it $100,000 a year, the bank is going to say, well, you're only good for $400,000 mortgage at this current rate. But if you're making $100,000 and the current rate is 3%, the bank is going to say, well, you're good for $600,000 or $650,000. Guess what you could do now? Now you could go look for a house for $650,000 range.
Okay.
Again, it's all relative on the interest rates, credit, and who's playing the market.
But who's got the money for a $1.2 million house?
You cannot keep saying who is. It's like out of this world. It's like it doesn't make sense who it is. People have money. It just people don't. You don't know that people have money. You understand? Nobody's flying around in Maseratis and Lamborghinis, flying back and forth to say, "Look at me, I got money." You don't see that. But yes, there's a lot of money.
You see it once in a while.
Once in a while. But those are the people who own buildings, who own major businesses of that nature. So yes, it's all, like I said before, and I keep using the word relative, is because you just don't know the position that the people are in.
Right.
Okay? A person can have a house that he paid, say, $200,000 20 years ago. Today, and he had, say, $100,000 mortgage on it. Today, 20 years later, his house is worth $1 million. Well, how did he get to that? As the time went on, houses came up. One paid for 5, one paid for 6, one sold for 7, one sold for 8, and so forth and so forth. So the value just keeps going up and up and up. And that's how it happens.
Okay.
Yes, there's quite a few houses in our neighborhood, not too far from us. They're looking for 1.2, 1.1, 1.5. And that's what's going on.
Yeah.
But then again, you cannot count that just because a person is asking for 1.2 million doesn't mean they're going to get it. But here's the problem. If they do get 1.2 million for, say, this 3,000 square foot house, and your house is, say, 2,000 square feet, now what's the square footage value per square foot? Can your house be worth 800,000 instead of 600%?
Oh, so then they can like put the starting price at 1.2, but then they get an appraisal and it goes
No,
down.
if they put up a 1.2, and let's say the appraisal comes in at 1.1, okay, you stick to the appraisal 1.1, you get your 1.1. If the person is looking to buy a $1.2 million house,
Okay.
again, it's all relative. But if your house is a 2,000 square foot house and his house is a 3,000 square foot house, now you're paying per square footage.
But as a salesman, can I sell it at whatever price I want?
No, you can't just sell it what price you want. You have to ask for a price of what the neighborhood calls for, what the value of the neighborhood is.
So like I can't be that guy that, let's say like my house is worth 500,000.
Right.
But I want to sell it for $1 million. I can't. Am I legally not allowed to do that?
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but I can be like that asshole that's
Yes,
like,
you
no,
can.
I'm putting this price is $1 million.
Yes, you can. Now, will it sell for $1 million? No, it'll just probably sit on the
It won't.
market
It
forever.
won't sell. But the point being is that like I'm not restricted by my.
No, you're not restricted. You can do whatever you want to do.
I can sell it for whatever I want.
You can ask whatever you want for the value of the property.
Mm-hmm.
Will you get the value that you want?
But do you think
might,
people? Do you
and
think
you might
people? Do you think people will question the value, or they're just going to look at the house and be like, "Yeah, I'll just buy it"?
No, they'll definitely question the value of it,
Okay.
without a doubt. And the bank will not lend on it unless they do an appraisal. If the appraisal comes out, if you're looking for $1 million and the appraisal comes out for 800,000, guess what? You're not getting $1 million. They'll get 800,
Right.
but not $1 million, because the bank is going to be a loser then. It's
Right.
overpriced, and it's a big possibility that they're under foreclosing.
It's all about the bank.
It's all about the money. That's how it
Right.
goes.
All right. Cool. I learned something today.
Good.
So
And next week I'll teach you more about real estate. Next week we'll do multifamilies and commercial.
Oh, sure. So then I'm going to call for this episode. We've been going on for a little while. But yeah, Dad, thanks for helping me out with this
It
one.
was my great pleasure dealing with my older one.
Yeah. dealing with your
My number
your
one.
child.
No, my number one child.
Number one child, that's right. The best child. The best kid ever. Especially since my co-hosts abandoned me.
Well, it's only part time. They will be back.
They will be back. They had some work emergencies, unfortunately.
Which is perfectly understandable.
Which I like to say is a lack of commitment
no
to the
but
show.
Sometimes things happen and they have to
No, show comes first.
to some degree.
No,
but,
show comes first.
to some degree.
I don't care about your emergency meeting or your this and your
Oh,
that.
you don't want your friend to be fired, do you?
I'm
no,
not.
we don't work like that.
Neither confirm or deny that I want to or don't want to.
Well,
So yeah.
we drop that subject.
Yeah. Anyway, but again, thank you so much for helping me out. I
100%.
appreciate it.
Anything for you, kiddo.
Thanks, Dad. All right, that's the end of the episode. Thank you all for listening. Please follow us on all our socials, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Spotify for more episodes. Thanks, guys.